Hey there race fans, welcome back to another video with McVagger ASR Amateur Simulation Racing. Today we are at Goodwood. We're going to be doing a quick 20-minute race at Goodwood in the UK. This is the grip gauntlet. So what this means is you need to change your tyres when you come into the pits, but you need to change according to where you are coming in. So for example, if you are running really quickly and you come in anywhere between 1st and 6th position, you need to switch onto hards. If you come in anywhere between 7th and 12th, you need to switch onto mediums. And if you're running a little slower and you come in anywhere between 13th and 20th, you get a bit of a bump in the performance by being able to put on softs. So that should keep things nice and even. So Kyle Brennan is driving the car today. He is in the Mini 1965 Cooper S and up against a whole bunch of sport cars. Kyle Brennan starting in position number 20, which means he will be starting on racing softs. Let's get the race underway. Here we go, it's about to start. And we have a green light at Goodwood Raceway in the UK. The Honda NSX getting out to a flying start. The Mini driven by Kyle Brennan getting out to a really slow start, but that's probably because the car has been souped up and the gears have been spread out so that we can get a nice top end on the car. That means a slow start, but hopefully a good finish. The car is very, very light at under 600 kilograms. And it has a PP of approximately 550. Handling will be great on this little car. Not so great on the long straights though, which is where all the other sports cars should be able to make up a lot of ground on it, but they are a lot heavier and a lot heavier on fuel as well, so they will need to brake a lot sooner and they'll need to go in for a good maybe twice as many pit stops as the Mini. Kyle Brennan driving really nicely at this point in time. No excursions off the track. He seems to have caught up with the pack and he's on the back of Clays in the Chevy Stingray, and he's still fighting, trying to get that 19th position from Clays, but it's going to be a lot more difficult than what he has expected, I think. Here we go. The Mini is really good through the corners, nice and light. He's looked like he cut that corner. Let's see what the marshals have to say about that. Has he got a penalty? He has not, so looked like he was above board there. Through the chicane, nice and quick, so he's taken Clays and Hendricks and now moves into 17th after overtaking Paul in that Mercedes. Following Sharp now, the other British driver who is driving, let's move on to that car and we'll see what he's driving. Sharp is driving the Alpha. Kyle Brennan in his rear view mirror, as you can see there, coming out the outside, seeing if he can get around the Alpha in the turn, which he does. A great overtake maneuver by Kyle Brennan. Now he's chasing the Mustang of Pacheco. I'm not sure how to say that name, but he does go around the outside. Oh, but gets it all wrong. Kyle Brennan in the grass and rejoins the track in position number 17 in front of Clays and Paul, but behind Sharp and Pacheco. I'm not sure how to say that name of the Argentinian racer, but Kyle back on the power and trying to catch Sharp in the Alfa Romeo. Sharp in position number 16, chasing the Mustang. But here comes the Mini. Through the twisty sections, this car is absolutely unbeatable. Out here, leaning on that left front tyre. You can see the wear starting to look a little bit heavier down that side. And wow, through the chicane he passes the Mustang and the Evo 6 and passes the Honda NSX as well into 13th position. Copeland and the Mitsubishi Lancer now getting overtaken too, and he's taken the inside on the Peugeot Looks like he's got it, but he's running a little bit wide, so he avoids contact with Kyle's Mini. And Kyle Brennan now in position number 11, chasing Hobbs in the Toyota Supra, the silver Toyota Supra. Here they come through the fast section of the track. This is where the other cars will have an advantage on the Mini. But in this section here, the very twisty part, the Mini is absolutely unbeatable. It actually weighs virtually nothing. Past the Supra of Osaka as well. Ninth position now for Kyle Brennan in the Mini Cooper S, and he flies past Latanen in the Lamborghini Urus. And now it's Minis versus Mustangs again. So keeping that line, the Mini having to put two wheels on the grass. You can see those dirty tyres on the right hand side of the car, but it's way quicker through the turns. He gets the Mustang really easily, and he's pulling out a big gap on that Ford Mustang right now. Everybody in the pits, so Kyle Brennan now will shoot into first position while everybody else is putting on tyres and fueling up their cars. You can see the Chevy Camaro, the Chevy Corvette, I think it is, coming out of the pits there. It was Roman, the Brazilian, who is now chasing Kyle Brennan. Let's have a look at his car. He'll be catching up really quickly through this section here. Massive car, this huge engine, American muscle V8, and yep, he's right next to Kyle Brennan, but he can't get the pass done through the turns. You're having to brake a lot earlier than the Mini, but the power is definitely going to come into play as we get through these turns and get onto that long straight. The Mini holding him off nicely right now, but as you see, the massive Chevy Corvette gets through, and Kyle Brennan now chasing. 6 minutes into the race, 14 minutes left to go. But that said, these cars will have to pit at least twice. I'm not sure if that Mini is going to need to pit twice. It's very light on fuel, with it not having much weight to it. And here comes the XJ220, the big Jaguar, also capitalizing on its top end speed through the straights. Kyle Brennan drops back into third position. Chasing him now is Buchanan in the Honda NSX. Beautiful car, this absolute marvel of a machine. He gets through. Kyle chasing in the Mini. Some more turns coming up, which is where he may be able to make up some ground. Let's hope he can. Sims has got the quickest lap of the race with a 1 minute 27. Kyle Brennan is off the track again, rejoining again, not losing any places, in fourth, but now he loses 2 spots to Hobbs. To Takagi and to Sims, but he gets the Porsche back. He's back into 5th position on the back of the Honda NSX now, but the Porsche fights right back through. Kyle drops back to 6th. He's right on the back of those 2 cars, but will he be able to make it through the turns here? I think he most likely will, because that car corners like a train, like it's on rails. He's out on the grass, so that proved me wrong there, but he does retain a lot of speed through the chicane. 2 wheels on the grass, but he's back into 4th position in front of Takagi. Now everybody jumping into the pits, well, a few people hopping into the pits. Kyle Brennan in 4th position now, chasing Buchanan. Let's move up and see how far that gap is. Buchanan is quite a way up the track now in the Honda NSX. Kyle chasing hard, but we'll keep the focus on Kyle at this point, because there are some turns coming up, and that is where he should be able to make up quite a lot of ground on Takagi's Honda NSX. So the Honda having to brake hard coming through this section. Oh, Kyle getting that extremely wrong again. That has been a very difficult section of the track for him so far today. A couple of really bad excursions into the grass, and another very near critical mistake happening through that turn. That said, he is quite close to the back of Buchanan. Great shot here by the drone on the back of the Honda NSX, with the Mini screaming in behind around the turns. Look how much space he makes up through this twisty section, through the chicane here, and he's on the power. Oh, having to brake a little bit for Buchanan's Honda NSX, but Buchanan shoots in to the pits. Kyle Brennan back into first position now, as everybody else is climbing back into the pits to refuel. You can see those fuel numbers going up as the guys start topping up the tanks. Everybody going for hards, so everybody looking like they're wanting to stay out as long as possible without having to waste time refueling, waste time putting on tyres. Whether they're going to refuel or not is another story. You can see the tyres on the Mini looking quite worn on the right front there. Kyle in first position now. Fuel not looking too bad actually. It's still slightly more than a quarter of a tank left in the Mini. Oh, he gets a time penalty there for track infringement, and that is going to cost him big time over the course of the race. You can see that he's going to need to work that down, but we'll see how that ends up affecting him as we progress through the race. Estevez now is the quickest man on the track with a 1 minute 25.502. Estevez in third position in the Jaguar XJ. There he is right there. Very, very, very quick time there. Roman in front of him in this big Chevy, and there's our race leader for the moment at any rate, Kyle Brennan, setting a 1 minute 30 as his best time, 5 seconds off the pace of Estevez. But this is going to come down to pit stops, I think, because the Mini will have to take less of them. So will he be able to get enough space between him and the others with that advantage he has with only one pit stop? The big Chevy Corvette coming straight through, or tried to, but Kyle Brennan holds him off in the fast turns. The little Mini really working hard. And Roman just holding off, biding his time until he gets through these turns, and then he'll just put the power down and he should come flying past that Mini. Oh, Kyle Brennan off the track slightly there. That's going to affect his time. It's going to slow him down. As you can see, Roman straight back through. And there's the new race leader, Roman, in the big Chevy Corvette. Out in front, quite a massive difference, quite a big gap, I mean, in between him and Kyle. And I think it is about time for us to see Kyle Brennan come into the pits to switch tyres, and yes, there he is. He's popping in now. He's going to now put on some different tyres. You'll see he was on the softs as he started off in position number 20 right at the back. He will now, because he was in between first and sixth when he came into the pits, he will now have to switch onto the hard tyre, the harder compound, which does give less grip, does top up the tank as well. That fuel was really, really low. And there he is, popping out onto the track into seventh position now, behind Wachter. Wachter is now the guy ahead of him. Not going to be too worried about Kyle Brennan at this point in time. He's quite far ahead, as you can see. He's the red arrow on the mini-map at the top right of your screen right now. Kyle Brennan, the car for the next one in the sequence behind him. A group of 4 cars all together right now. Wachter in 6th, Takagi in 5th, Miller in 4th, and Buchanan in 3rd. And it doesn't look like Kyle is making too much headway. He looks like he's quite far behind us. Let's just see if we can see him coming through here as the others pass. No, oh, there he is, way back in the distance as the guys come through the high-speed right bend. Well, it's a high-speed bend for the Mini at least, not maybe for the others, through the chicane. Oh, big hit on the red car there by the Honda NSX. Roman, oh, everybody going into the pits. And here comes Kyle through the chicane. He's in 7th right now. And it looks like he's going to leapfrog quite a few drivers. 3 at best, yes, all the way up into 4th position, into 3rd position, I beg your pardon. So he's jumped 4 positions into 3rd in the Mini. He's now on the hard compound, so he is going to take a while to get those tyres warmed up and into optimal condition, but nonetheless the Mini's so good through the turns, he should still be able to make up a lot of space. But let's have a look at who is in front of him right now. It is Roman in the Chevy Corvette, and in front of him is Estevez in the XJ220, the current race leader. Big distance between them. Back onto Roman. I think Kyle Brennan will be hunting him down now through these turns. You can see there that is the little Mini chasing the huge Corvette. A big David and Goliath battle happening here. The Chevy massive on power, but really heavy and very cumbersome through the turns. And here you can see the advantage of the Mini. Oh, he has to go wide to get around. Trying to get around, he's trying to force his way into 2nd position through the chicane, but he doesn't get it done. But now the Corvette will put the power down and get that gap spread out again. Estevez went into the pits, so Roman now takes the position of race leader, and Kyle Brennan is now in 2nd, chasing him. Got some back markers there. The Lamborghini Urus of Lattinen is now a back marker. He's got the blue flags waving for him to get out of the way of the race leaders, which is Roman in position number 1. And here comes Kyle Brennan in position number 2 in the 1965 Mini. Does well to stay on the track this time around that curvy section. And you should see him in the air. There he goes into the shot. We'll focus on Kyle now because this is the quicker section for the Mini, so he should be able to make up some space here on the drivers in front. Roman still leading the race. Kyle Brennan chasing. Lattinen is in between the two of them at the moment, in last position in the Lamborghini Urus. I think that car is just too big and heavy to get through the turns, and that is what's slowing it down as much as it is. But here comes the Mini. Kyle Brennan flying through the chicane. Blue flags being waved for Lattinen. And Kyle should be able to take that position now as they come through the turns around the outside. The tiny little Mini overtaking the big raw power of that massive Lamborghini Urus. Lamborghini tries to come back again. I don't know if that is legal, seeing that he's a back marker, but the blue flag's still waving, so I think he would have to relinquish that position and not fight to unlap himself. Another back marker here, the Chevy Stingray. moving wide so Kyle Brennan can move through and continue the attack on Romans, the big Chevy Corvette. The Corvette's definitely making up a lot of ground on this long straight section here, but here we come up to those tight right hand turns. Kyle really going for it. 1 minute left in this race. They will cross the line now, and that will mean, oh my word, Roman on the final lap of the race has gone into the pits. Kyle Brennan shoots into first. He's now holding the race winner position. He'll need to hold off the quicker cars now. Estevez is the next in line to take the victory. If he can get past the back markers here, which he does, you can see Kyle Brennan shooting down in front of him. The Jaguar making up ground through here. Here comes the twisty section. Will the Mini be able to hold off and hold enough speed? He is keeping it at the moment. He is keeping the car on track, on the brakes, onto the right-hander turn, keeping it on track, keeping the power down. The Jaguar XJ220 hunting him down. Here comes the big long straight, and I think he may just lose this position right here as Estevez comes flying down behind him in the Jaguar XJ220, passes Kyle Brennan, but here comes the twisty section. Kyle is the best in this section because of how light that Mini is. He's on the back of Estevez. This is his last chance to take the race, coming through the chicane. Will he get it? He's through. Oh, he's on the grass. Can't get the power down because of the spinning wheels, and Estevez takes the win in the Jaguar XJ220. Kyle Brennan taking a very, very deserved second place in the 1965 Mini Cooper S. A great race for the McVager ASR team and their driver Kyle Brennan. Brilliant result here. What a race. Thing is, if he was able to keep on those soft tyres the entire way through the race, I think he would have won that. But with it being the grip Gauntlet, he had to change onto the hards at his pit stop because he came in between position number 1 and 6. So that meant he had to switch onto the hards, and that ultimately was what cost him the race, besides for maybe a couple of excursions off the track and onto the grass. But nonetheless, an exciting race. The Jaguar XJ220 taking the victory. The Mini Cooper S coming in second. Corvette C8 in third. NSX in fourth. Cayman GT4 Porsche in fifth. Mercedes AMG in sixth. The 8C Competizione Alpha in seventh, and the 1992 model NSX Type R coming in position number 8. There's the rest of the field. Supra 4C, Mustang GT, RCZ, Mustang GT, Sprinter Torino, Supra RZ, Lancer Evolution, another Lancer Evolution, Corvette Stingray, Megane RS Trophy, and in last position the Lamborghini Urus. But a great result for the top three. Jaguar, Mini, Corvette. Well guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a pleasure making it for you. So until we meet again, drive wild, race free, and we'll see you on the track.